I met Bill Hawkins, the now retired CEO of Medtronic.
Yes.
Rock star, like brilliant, genius, awesome. I said, Bill, any chance you could help the FDA? They keep railing on the FDA, the industry does. Oh, you're stifling innovation, you're making it impossible for us to launch new medical devices, beat up the FDA, beat them up, go to Congress, yell, scream, chest thump. Well, I said, well, wait a minute. What if we had a startup inside the FDA? We're going to create a brand new, we called it the innovation pathway. So medical devices that can solve really complicated problems for people, like thinking about dialysis in new ways or whatever, won't go through the regular process. We'll have a lean startup where they're going to go through a new process that will still meet the obligations under the law for protection of the consumer, consumer safety, but maybe more collaborative spirit, more data sharing, what have you, a new model. Bill, would you volunteer to join as one of the advisors to make this thing happen? Oh, and Dean Kamen, you're an inventor. You made this Segway, and you've built this new robotic arm to help veterans who've lost their limb.
No particularly like government, by the way.
Who, what?
And not exactly a big fan of government.
No, in fact, Dean and I were at this event, and Dean is giving a speech about how he thinks government is evil and making all kinds of jokes, but kind of really seriously saying, like, what, this thing stinks. So I grab it, Dean, hey, do you think you can volunteer your time? So we got 20 people to volunteer their time, and they agreed. They said, we'll advise the design and launch of a new innovation pathway that's only going to work in these small circumstances. We're going to test it. Then the agency is going to validate that it works, and then hopefully, and in the middle of that now, maybe scale it up. So the president says, hey, this is not a bad concept. My successor says, let's do this across the government. We've launched now a program called the Presidential Innovation Fellowship Program, where people can spend 6 months or a year answering a call to action. Agencies nominate problems that they want solved, well-defined, tightly scoped. Anyone that wants to compete, hundreds of people apply for the dozen slots, and some of the best and brightest in our country. So what gives me hope, Chris, is this talent in our country is just ready to go, and they don't care right, left, up, down, lobbying Congress, not, like, you don't have to tell me your party ideology to join the startup to fix the problem. They created an alternative to procurement, which I just said earlier was evil. Yeah. They called it RFP-EZ. For websites that cost less than 150,000 bucks, you could go through this like Match.com-like application. They said, okay, let's have 5 agencies do a test. They're going to use this startup, and they're also going to put the same request in the, you can't laugh at this name, fedbizops.gov is the name of the government website. 30% save is cheaper when you went through this startup project, and hundreds of people that had never done business with the government before participated. So that's the power of this talent acquisition. Put them to work. They can demonstrate results in 6 months, 9 months, a year.